I love adding power options to my Trail Boss. I've got the Retrax EQ, which is a power tonneau cover. I've got the Amp Research boards, which are power running boards. And now I've got power fold tow mirrors from Boost Auto Parts. And these completely changed the look of this truck. I installed these myself, and this is definitely more of an advanced install. And it took about 6-7 hours to get all the wiring correct. Now, as far as mounting the side mirrors, that was no problem at all. That was really easy, but there are a lot of wire modifications. I want to go over some of my tips for this install. Now, Boost Auto Parts has a great video install. I was able to follow through and get everything connected correctly. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Let's go over some of the tools you'll need for this install. I highly recommend an auto trim removal kit. This will help to pop off some of the panels. And then this is a pick set from Harbor Freight. You'll need this in order to push the pins in on the connectors. This is a very important tip. Make sure when you are pushing down your flathead screwdriver on the door boot to be careful, because I actually broke the connector on the driver's side. So just give it time, be patient, and eventually it will come out and come loose. In order to run these cables through the door boot, I put two 11-inch tie wraps together, and it worked out great. I was able to run the tie wrap through the boot and then take some electrical tape, tie up the wires, and pull them right through. When you're using the pick set to push the pins in, you want to take a flashlight and make sure that you see the pin go all the way in. You should hear it click. When adding wires to the door connector, make sure you peel enough of the wire insulation back, because you'll need to re-add the top clip that goes on that connector, so you don't want the wires you're adding to get in the way. The location that I decided to install the wireless modules inside the door panel was on this insulation piece. I punctured a hole with the pick tool, and then I put a tie wrap on both sides to secure it. When you're going to wire up the wireless modules, the passenger side has one connection and the driver's side has two connections. When you're reinstalling the door connection to the panel, make sure you take your time and the connector fits properly. When I was reinstalling the driver's side, I didn't really get it clicked in good enough. I had to take off the panel and reinstall it. You are going to have to use the provided jumper harness to connect slot 9 on the black BCM connector to slot 4 on the gray BCM connector. Just make sure you are careful not to pull any of the pins loose from these connectors. So just know this is a time-consuming project, and if you don't feel comfortable installing them yourselves, I would definitely take it to a shop and let them install it. But if you do, make sure you take your time. The biggest thing I love about these mirrors is they're completely customizable. You can get on their website, go through several different options, and build them to exactly the specs you want. So the first option I chose was this matte black for the cap up top. The original mirrors had a gloss finish, but I wanted to match this up with this side piece right here on the doors. The second option I chose was the switchback option, which is the white light going to the amber color once you turn the turn signal on. Now, I went with just switchback because I wanted it to match the blinker on the truck. The sequential switchback on this light right here is the more popular feature, but I wanted to match the truck. The third option I went with for the spotlight was the smoked out version. You could also go with the clear version. The most important option I chose was the power fold option. These mirrors stick out a lot more, so I want to be able to fold them in and out in a parking lot, or if I'm going in and out of a garage. It will definitely come in handy not having to go around the truck and fold in both sides. In order to fold the mirrors in and out, you hit the left side mirror, and then you hit the left arrow key twice, you hit the right arrow key twice, and then you hit down. And then both of the mirrors will begin to fold in. Now, if you hit the up button within 10 seconds, the mirrors will fold back out. If it's after 10 seconds, you'll have to go through the sequence again and hit the up button, then they will fold back out. Now, with the factory side mirrors, you do have spotlights, so these keep that original, and they also utilize a spotlight. In order to activate the spotlight, you just hit the factory switch. Now, this next option I made a mistake on. I chose to do the cargo only on this light. Well, you can also add it to be a reverse light, and I was just thinking, well, if I look in the side mirror, I might get blinded by it, but when I turn those on, it doesn't mess with my vision at all. You can't even see that light except for behind you. You do have the option between a low output floodlight or a high output spotlight. I chose to go with the low output floodlight. In order to turn on the cargo lights, you just hit the factory switch. Not only do these tow mirrors have this reverse cargo light, they also have the blind spot monitoring, which is on the factory one, but I did take to the road just to make sure that this worked properly, and it worked fine. You also get a turn signal inside the glass, and you get auto defrost. So those are the options that I chose for these tow mirrors. However, it is completely customizable on their website. Now, I've never had tow mirrors, and it makes a world of difference because you can see so much better pulling a boat, a camper, anything. You do have to get used to them a little bit because they are totally different from the regular factory mirrors. I really love having the small mirror because some of the boat ramps I go to are really tight, and it's a great thing to be able to see your tire when you're backing down the ramp. Just for a little comparison, this is the factory mirror I took off. You can see that the tow mirror sticks out at least about 6 more inches, so it's a really good option to have the power fold because you may definitely use that with these tow mirrors. Just want to show you when you unlock your doors, you can see the boot up sequence. So I went with that as well, and it was just a pretty neat little feature to add. Now, when you lock your doors, the amber color will illuminate and all the lights will go off. Now let's show you what it does when you remote start it. All in all, I am really loving the look of these tow mirrors on the truck. And I can go ahead and tell you right now, if you pull anything, it makes a world of difference, and I highly recommend tow mirrors. Well, I appreciate y'all watching this. If you liked it, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. Until next time, see y'all.